Today I'm interviewing my father, who, as you know, or maybe you don't know, him and my mom owned their own business for years when I was growing up, and there's things I just took for granted and never asked him, and I just wanted to ask him and get it on film. So, Dad, when you were a little boy, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A baseball player.
And didn't you actually get drafted or picked into some major league? What was that?
No, I had tryouts and they wanted me to go to Florida. I had to pay my own way. Of course, my father didn't want to pay my own way to go to Florida.
And what team was this?
Two teams. There were Philadelphia Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds.
And your dad said no, that you couldn't be a professional baseball player?
Well, I didn't want to go either because you have to pay your own way, your own fare at that time. So that was good.
All right, so that was his almost professional baseball career. So did you ever think you would own your own business?
No, never. Never, not at all.
Right, and you worked at a bank first?
That's where I started. After high school, that's where I went to banking.
Were you happy at your job at the bank?
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm happy. Nothing ever bothered me, so it was okay.
Okay. So, if you stayed at the bank, did you think you would advance there and have a good career if you stayed there?
No, I don't think so. You had to go, because you had to go to more or less go to college, be a college graduate, which I wasn't. I went to banking school, but you really had to be in college.
So, what made you decide to start your own business?
Well, I needed part-time work. You kids were small, and I went to a driving school, and I inquired at the U.S. Auto Club. That's where the first was, U.S. Auto Club. And they trained us, and I became a driving instructor with them. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being with people, and I had a lot of patience. I didn't have to choke anyone in my career.
And then they were selling, then the owners you were working for was selling the driving school?
They were selling the business, yes. And they asked me, they told me they were selling and wanted to know if I was interested. I said, yes, sure, definitely. Mm-hmm. So then we came to terms and arrangements, and I bought the business.
Right. And is it true that you came home and told Mommy that you bought a business?
Yes.
Like after it was a done deal?
You didn't. Done deal.
Didn't ask.
That was wrong. I shouldn't have done that.
But not many females will probably put up with. That's kind of weird.
Sure, I was close. Close almost 20 years in banking. That I was giving up.
Oh, I didn't even know it was that long.
Yeah.
All right, so you decided to start your own business. You had no college or formal education with running a business, nothing.
No,
okay.
not at all.
So what were some immediate hardships?
The hours, they were long. And but I didn't mind it because it was an extra income that I was getting for the family, and I was able to save that way. Hardships were just being away from the family. More or less, you kids were small, and I missed that. I used to come home and you were already in bed.
You guys worked like 14-hour days,
I worked a lot.
From what I remember. Yeah. Even more, probably.
Even more. Sometimes I left the house.
6 days a week.
Yeah, I left the house sometimes 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I worked till past 12 hours a time. Sometimes almost to 10 at night.
Now, when you first bought the driving school, I remember you saying like you were there for 1 week. And the phones were shut off?
Yes.
Because the previous owner didn't pay the bills and you got stuck with...
Exactly. The previous owners didn't pay the bill. They changed the name of the school, but then they stopped we weren't getting any calls. And I called a telephone company and they told me, well, they didn't pay. They said, you didn't pay the bill. I said, that wasn't me. That was the previous owners. I said, I'm a new owner. So after we had talked, they said, okay, then the phone started working again. Now,
for years, I remember it wasn't doing so good.
No.
Right? I mean, we were struggling financially for like years, not months, years.
Yeah, it was tough in the beginning.
So, did it ever cross your mind at that point to just quit and go back to work for someone else?
No, because I just knew in the summertime we were very busy. In the wintertime, terrible. So you had to make your money in the summer, spring and summer. Because come wintertime, especially with the snow, a lot of snow we had out there, February was always our worst month. And things got bad, I worked for car service to help when I wasn't.
And then you became an insurance agent, so that didn't depend on the weather, seasonals, and it tied in with the driving school.
Yeah, I took the state exam to become an insurance broker.
Right. But I mean, even in the summer, like you said, all right, it's seasonal, the driving school industry. But there were years where we weren't doing good, so even the summer months didn't really help carry over. And with working all those hours a day, like, how come you never thought to just give it all up and work? Working for somebody else is easier.
I just
right?
Definitely.
So what made you never?
I just
like
thought,
quitting never crossed your mind?
I just thought I could make it. I just thought that just give it a try. Don't give up. Just keep on trying.
Now you're basically a shy person.
Yes.
And you're an introvert.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
So how did you have that much confidence to have the belief that you just keep going and it'll all work out?
Well, only because of the students that I had. I had a big following and big recommendations. That's how I got most of my business, through recommendations. Students seemed to like me, and I picked up from that. That made me go on and on.
All right. Let's see. You worked 6 days a week. It was very hard to go away.
Yes, definitely.
Until I got older and was able to.
Right, and you came into the office.
I watched.
Right, you come to the office, we were able to finally get away.
So my parents were finally able to go away on vacation when I was like 18 or whatever, and I was able to watch the business for them and handle payroll. Although I remember stories, and you come home and the checkbook was always wrong because I'm really bad at math. And there'd be addition and subtraction errors, and we'd have more money, or so we thought, in the checking account, when my dad would be like, Fran, you added wrong again. Did we have calculators back then? This was the early 80s, late 70s.
I think we had little...
I don't even know if we had calculators, so let's blame it on lack of calculators. And if we did, I have nothing else to say.
I think we had those little adding machines.
All right, so would you say it, for the 2 people who are watching this, or okay, we probably have more relatives than, for the 10 relatives that are going to watch this video actually this long, would you say it was worth it in the long run?
Yes, definitely. In my case, definitely in the long run. Yeah.
So years of hardship, you still had the belief, and you never once thought of quitting and working for someone else. You'd have paid sick days and paid holidays.
Exactly.
You could take off whenever you want.
And pension, and perhaps a pension too.
Maybe. Okay. So what advice would you give somebody today starting their own business?
Oh, go ahead, give it a go, and but expect some hardships, especially in the beginning, because most businesses fail after the first or second year. So, but if you stick to it and you feel confident enough,
and it's obviously,
you can make a go of it.
Again, going back to confidence, you were a shy person, but yet you had all the confidence that you would make it if you just stuck to it.
Yes.
And you did.
Yes.
I mean, it did really well.
Yes.
Thank
God.
After a while.
Thank God.
After those really rough, full years.
A lot of prayers.
All right. Thank you for being on film.
You're welcome. Oh, thank you.